Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning into another group analysis session. Tonight's video, we're going to be focusing on the currency pair EURGBP, breaking down the charts from scratch, highlighting the main areas of support, resistance, trends, and channels, and showing you some key levels where we could potentially be taking some trades from. So firstly, I just want to say thanks for those of you who contributed your charts this evening. It seems you all picked up the main areas of support and resistance. A couple of little things some of you missed out, but we'll cover those as we go through the chart analysis. So right now we're on the hourly time frame, and what we can see is that from the 31st of March, EURGBP has been in a bit of a downtrend, creating lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and potentially a series of lower lows further down here. Now, what we can do firstly, now we've identified this downtrend, is take the trend line tool from the sidebar up here, and we can start by linking up the highs and seeing how they connect to see if we can get a trend line or a channel going. So we'll start from this high up here. We can see that automatically this will probably be a little bit steep. Although that does work for a trend line, we could potentially keep that in, but I'm going to get rid of that and I'm going to take it from these highs here, as I think it would be a much nicer and more precise gradual trend line, which we can see links up perfectly like so. Now, it's not to say that this trend line isn't accurate or won't come into play at a later date, but seeing as the next trading opportunity from this trend line will be down here, we'll leave that out for the time being, as this will provide us with a potential selling opportunity on the next touch up here. But anyway, now we've got this in place, we can see if we can duplicate this to get some form of channel. So if we duplicate like this, we can then bring this channel around and see if it links up with the lows, which we can see pretty much pinpoint perfectly. With a little bit of tweaking involved, we can get this a bit more precise, something along these lines here. So now we have our channel in play. Price is bouncing from the top to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, to the top, hopefully back down to the bottom again. So automatically we can start to see the direction, or the overall direction, will most likely be down, and we do in fact have a smaller time frame ascending trend line starting something like this. So price is almost being forced into this wedge. So price is, the lows are becoming higher and higher and higher shorter term, but overall we have a descending trend line. So it's likely when price is squeezed into this wedge coming into play here that we'll see a large push back down to the downside, which is usually the case when price is sort of being squeezed into these wedge formations. So we'll get rid of this for now. We'll start by adding in our levels of support and resistance to kind of contribute to a stronger trade. So we can see in this particular region right here, we have a previous level of support, turn resistance, and turn resistance again. So we can add this box tool. We'll start from this low here and we'll drag it across like so. So we have our support zone, which price rejected, came down into this zone, pushed higher. This zone then broke, and when price was underneath, this same zone acted as a ceiling, price rejected. The next time it came back up to this zone, it acted as a ceiling again and pushed back down once again. Now we also have the 200 moving average, which is this yellow moving average line here. This acts as a strong ceiling in itself, and as you can see, it's lining up perfectly with this level of resistance with this descending trend line. So we have three reasons to look to sell within this zone, or at least within this area. And lo and behold, price obviously rejected and started falling down. Now right now it's pushing back up, but we could begin to see some selling opportunities once again when price nears this region for a second time. However, if we zoom out and look at the bigger picture on EURGBP, we can actually extend this level of support and resistance right across something like this. And now we can see that this zone has actually held up for quite some time now. We've had multiple touches as support dating back to the 24th of Feb, again on the 1st of March, multiple times across around the middle of March, then again at the end of March. So this zone is a pretty strong one indeed, and every time it's been above, obviously it's acted as a support floor, and every single time more recently we've seen it below, it's obviously acted as resistance here, pushed up again, acted as resistance here. So overall, the signs are obviously pointing to a potential selling opportunity as price nears the top of this region once again to a longer term selling opportunity. Now obviously we could be taking some buy opportunities from this smaller term trend line as price comes back down into this, buying up again, but this would be a bit more dangerous as obviously the overall trend is down, so there will be a time where this trend line may break. Obviously price continues its descent lower, something like what we saw here, which I think, to be honest, the most of you got this ascending trend line. All of you got this zone here, which is really, really important. Some of you missed out the descending trend line in the channel, but overall the same, the analysis across the board was pretty consistent with selling opportunities. So well done for contributing your charts. We should see some selling opportunities from here tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, and if you do have any questions at all about this analysis, please do get in touch and let me know your thoughts.